Hey folks, welcome to the Trans Truther. I'm doing a video today to my friends, my family, and to those who knew me and didn't know about me. This is the reason why I couldn't tell people. I did tell people and ended up having to move several times because I was targeted for it. You know, it's like you can't just come out and say, hi, I'm transgender, because you're basically saying, hi, I'm a mentally ill freak, because that's how people are told what transgenders are, and that's furthest from the truth. We are very complex people, okay, but we are also very targeted people by society as normal people who decide we're mentally ill, we're freaks, we're, whatever they hear in the bar, that's what we are. And I just want to do a video to say how sorry I am that I could not tell you. I never imagined anybody would feel betrayed from my coming out. I guess I should have expected that. I kind of more expected that it would be shock or, denial or many other things that come with the emotions people go through when they find out someone they know and or love is transgender. It's something I tried to come out. I tried to trust what I thought was the right people, but they turned on me, and basically I had to move because of it a number of times. It wasn't just like once or twice, okay? And people don't understand that we are going through something so complex and so draining that the average person could not fathom what we're going through, okay? They could not fathom how strong you have to be in your heart and in your mind to understand, or to go through this, to understand that you're the wrong gender in the wrong body, and that everyone hates you because of it if you come out. Like, I talk to so many mostly trans females. I don't know any trans males, but they all said the same thing. They got turned on, their friends turned on them, their family turned on them, and I don't know if that's because of the betrayal or what it is. But it's not betrayal on our behalf. It's not our fault. Society has made it this way, that we have to basically give up everything to come out. And it's disheartening simply because we shouldn't have to. If you're really someone's friend, then you'll understand, or you'll try to understand, or you'll ask questions, or you'll research it. Families, if they turn on you, they never gave a fuck about you to begin with, okay? There are some families who stand by their transgender siblings, but there are many who don't. And I know a shitload of trans people who have no family left because they were abandoned as soon as they came out trans, okay? And to understand not only what we're going through inside, but to live in a lonely state, being that way, being rejected and being excluded, or being picked at, made fun of, targeted, constantly smart-ass comments, and all that goes with it. And it's like, I think if you could empathize, to put yourself in our shoes, I think you might understand a little better. But I don't think people can really fathom what it would be like for all their friends to turn on them, and their family to turn on them, and society in general to turn on them. Like, I still get harassed here and there when I go out, but for the most part, it's minimal, right? But my friends are the ones that took it the hardest, and there's some who said they do support me and still really aren't talking to me. But I understand that, and I just want you to know that I do understand that you have to deal with it in your own way. Okay, I cannot deal with it for you. I'm sorry I had to do what I had to do, the way I had to do it, but I was not coming out until I could get my foot in the door to get my treatment and surgery. Which, by the way, my surgery paperwork will be going in on August 22nd, so I'm actually happy about that. But I'm trying to fathom, I'm trying to understand and empathize with my friends. The same empathy that I'm asking of them, I'm trying to do the same back. And I do see why you feel betrayed, or why you feel I lied to you or didn't tell you, which is the same kind of thing. It's not about feeling bad about something. It's the shock, and I think the shock factor plays a very large role in how people react. That's why I was so afraid to tell my sister. I was her brother before I was her sister, so it was very hard for me to come out and tell her, because this is someone who's in my life every day. I'm in her life every day. We've gone through thick and thin. I bailed her out, she's bailed me out. I mean, I've saved her life, she's saved my life. And to just come out and say, well, I'm the wrong gender in the wrong body, it was not an easy thing to do. There were other factors involved in that, but the main thing was her I should have been able to tell, and I couldn't. And that saddens me that I had to go about it the way I did. And I think it saddens me even more that society still refuses to accept transgender people, or the fact that it's even possible. I came from a time and era where it was laughed at. The thought of it was laughed at. I mean, people would tease you about it, but they wouldn't. It wasn't real. It was like, you must be Italian because you like spaghetti. Oh, okay. Well, every kid likes spaghetti. I mean, come on. So, coming out was hard for me this time, because I just reunited with a lot of old friends, and who know me as Elio, and I was a grouchy asshole. I was miserable. I was living in a whirlwind of anger and sadness. The anger was because I couldn't come out, because I had to hide it, and I had to live with it inside myself, just so I can have friends, and just so I can, tattoo and do what I was doing in life. Had I have come out, I would have had no business whatsoever. I would have had probably very, very few friends. And that's why I didn't. I wanted to wait till I had my foot in the door for my transition. Then I would officially come out to everybody. And that's how I played it, simply because that's how society's made it. And you can't crucify me, nor can I crucify you for your reactions and my actions. So it's kind of, in a sense, very much like guarding myself. I guarded myself simply because I wanted to be alive to see my transition, okay? There's a lot of people who target us and to hurt or kill. And many transgenders have been killed. If you look at the USA statistics for 2016, 248 trans females were killed. That's no suicides, that's not car accidents, that was just killed. Okay, and a lot of that comes from the anger created by disinformation that they hear in the bars, or they, read in some, stupid magazine. You really have to research transgenderism, but the best way to understand it is with the word empathy. If you can put yourself in our shoes, you would understand a lot better why we are secretive about it, especially the male to females. I mean, the female to males, I don't know any one of them that's suffering any problems other than maybe family or, a couple of friends who just may disagree or, like I say, feel betrayed. I guess it's the best word to say. But with male to females, we are crucified constantly because we're expected to be these masculine, tough guys or whatever, and we're not. We're, I had to live in kind of a paradigm where I was pretending to be a tough guy. I had to fight. I had to argue. I had to be twice as fast and twice as good, twice as smart to be half as accepted. Okay, simply because I'm a small person. I'm short. I'm not tall, and I was always kind of, what would I say? I was taken for granted in the sense that people misunderestimated what was inside of me, and they didn't realize that I wasn't just a grouchy asshole. I was filled with rage. A lot of that rage was having to hide who I was. And I hope my friends and family will understand all of this and realize that I didn't want to do things this way. I had to do things this way. And a lot of other transgenders are the same way. Luckily nowadays they're able to come out younger, and that's good. That's a good thing. I don't want them waiting 40 years like I did. And it's probably that's more the reason I'm getting the flack, is because people didn't know all that time. People I dated, people I hung out with, people I drank with, worked with, were basic friends with, and related to. They didn't have a clue, and there was no way I could tell them. So I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart that I am so sorry that you feel the way you do. But it was not betrayal. I was not betraying anybody. I wasn't even lying. I just wasn't talking about it simply because look at what we go through. Look how, go on the internet and look how people are talking about transgender people. And you'll understand why we are secretive about it until the point where we want to come out and we're ready to do our surgery and stuff and treatments. And so that's when we come out. I just want you to know it wasn't because I didn't trust you. It's because society created an environment where you could not react like you would if we were accepted, if it was more of an accepted thing. So just understand that it was not meant to hurt you, and nor or deceive you or lie to you or anything like that. It was because I was shielding myself, and as cowardly as that might sound, if you knew how we are treated by society, you would understand better why we do it and how we do it. So just know that I love you all, regardless of whether you cannot get over this or can't accept it or whatever. I love you anyway, and I hope you'll love me back. Really, I'm not different. It's kind of like if you have a car and you want to change the chassis, okay? So you take the body off and you put the new one on, and there you go. You have a new looking car, but it's still the same car. It still has the same engine. It still has the same seats and the frame and the tires, and everything's still the same. But the body's different, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're just transgendering our body. Who we are inside is still who we are. Yeah, well, certain things will change about our mannerisms and about, certain aspects of life change, and there is change. But that doesn't mean that we're changing inside. We're still who we were, and that doesn't change. And that's what I've been trying to tell people, and people just really aren't getting it. But I hope this video gives you a better idea of why I did what I did and how I had to do things. And hopefully in the future we can open up the whole transgender subject and get it more accepted so it's not a big deal. Look at what the gays went through fighting to be accepted and recognized. And I was part of that fight too. And it wasn't an easy fight. So we got them accepted. Now we have to get the transgenders accepted. It doesn't matter whether you understand it or not. Research it if you don't. Ask us if you don't. Just ask us in a nice way and we'll tell you. And it's just not an easy subject right now because there's so much disinformation out there. Like I say, they're calling us mentally ill and freaks and every other thing. Like, we're not freaks. There are probably some mentally ill transgender people. I know a couple who say they are, and I'll believe that. But there's mentally ill straight people, cis people. There's mentally ill black and white people, and Mexican people, and Chinese people. I mean, mental illness is not a gender, okay? Mental illness is mental illness. But most trans people I know are far from mentally ill. They're very, very smart people and very strong people inside. And you have to be strong to be what we are and to go through what we go through. So just, again, one last time, I'm sorry things had to be the way they had to be, but that's just how things are in the world today. So let's make change so future people don't have to do the same thing that I had to do. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.